So today we're talking about negations, so how to negate something in a sentence, which we've kind of already done a little bit with. Professions, and for whatever reason they've decided to have you learn how to interview someone. They're not really that complicated interview questions, okay? So, here we go. Negations. So there's two kinds of negations for right now. Okay? Nicht or kein. And kein you've already seen before. Okay, so we're going to talk about that one first. So kein is the one that you use when you're saying that you have no or none of something. So you only use that when you are negating a noun. So it can only go right before a noun, and that's it. So the example, I have no cats. So you would say, ich habe keine Katzen. Okay? So that's what we were practicing in the last chapter. Alright, so the other kind of negation is when you use the word nicht, which you did already use in your My Portfolio stuff when you did the section 6 and section 7. Okay? So nicht is the word for not. Okay? So if you're going to say, it is, if you're trying to negate an adjective, so something that describes a noun, like smart, or dumb, or pretty, or handsome, or whatever. So anything that describes a noun. You can use nicht to negate that. So you could say, nicht dumm, nicht klug, nicht schön. Okay? Or you can use it for adverbs. So adverbs describing a verb. So like quickly. So you could say, nicht schnell. Okay? Or a verb. So if you're going to say that you don't do something, which is how you've been using it so far. Okay? So, ich kann nicht schwimmen. Okay? So you don't swim. You can't swim. Okay? So you can use nicht to negate anything pretty much other than a noun. So nouns you use the kein word. Can go in a few different places in the sentence depending on what it is exactly that you're trying to negate, but that's kind of a complicated thing. So at this point, we're going to put it right after the verb. Okay? And that's a good, easy place to put it. So, okay. So for the example, ich kann nicht schwimmen. So I cannot swim. There we go. Okay, moving on. So that was just a general overview of negation stuff. Okay? Try the first one. Der Beruf. Okay, rhymes with roof, right? Okay. So some people used to sing to themselves, der Beruf is on fire. And then you could stop it, right around there. Okay? So try that one more time. Der Beruf. Okay? Means job or career. Okay. So next sentence. How do you say the first word? Good. Next word is arbeitet.
Arbeitet.
Okay.
Architect.
We're still working on pronunciation. Okay. And then er/sie, so then you could fill in er or sie. I just put both so that it was equal. Okay. So try it. Was arbeitet er?
Was arbeitet er?
Was arbeitet sie?
Was arbeitet sie?
Okay. We're going to skip the meaning for a second because it means basically the same thing as the one below it. Okay. How do you say the first word?
Was.
Next one?
Is.
Next?
Er/sie.
Er/sie. Yep. Next one?
Von.
Von. Good. What about the last one?
Beruf.
Beruf. Mm-hmm. So the second one you might be able to piece together a little bit better.
What is your job?
Does it say you are?
What is his career or his study?
What is he or she for a career? Mm-hmm. So they're asking what their job is. Yeah? Okay. We might say, what does he or she do? And we're talking about careers or jobs, okay, and even nationalities. You don't use an ein word in front of it. So we would say, I am a teacher. I am a salesman, whatever it might be. We use that word in there, or an. Yeah. In German, they do not. There is no ein word. Okay, so you skip right to it, and it sounds a little me Tarzan Eugene-ish to you. Okay, so it'd be like, I am teacher, you know, but you skip that word. You would also say I am German, like I am a German. You skip that word in there again. Okay? How many of you heard that whole JFK donut thing? Jelly donut? Wow. Okay. So there's this big like urban legend thingy. It's not really an urban legend. I don't know how you call it. So JFK during the Cold War when the Berlin Wall was up, he went to Berlin and he said the phrase "Ich bin ein Berliner." Okay? Because he included that ein word in there, a lot of people reacted and said, because Berliner can mean two things. Okay, so the JFK thing. So he went to Berlin and said, "Ich bin ein Berliner." Because of that ein word, the word Berliner can either mean someone from Berlin, or it's also the word for jelly donut. So Americans decided to overreact and immediately spread the thing that he was going around saying he was a jelly donut. It means both. In that particular instance, he was saying that he is a person from Berlin. Did any of the people in Berlin react negatively and call him a jelly donut? No. It was the people who aren't fluent in the language that started doing that. Okay? So it technically means both, but it was obvious in the context which one he meant. Okay? When you use the ein word in there, it can imply something else. If he had left out that ein word, there would have been no Americans overreacting about the ein word in there. Okay? So it would have only meant he is someone from Berlin. But in Berlin, there are some people who use that as a dialect thing. So they will, in some areas, use the ein word, but not all. Word of warning. You guys are all Americans. I'm assuming. If you go and say, "Ich bin ein Amerikaner," Americana is another type of pastry in Germany. So you could also be saying that you are a pastry. It's a tasty one. I highly suggest you try it at some point. But just leave out the ein word and you'll avoid all those issues. Okay? Good. Okay. When we do professions, they do have a male word for the profession and a female word for the profession. Okay? Just like they do for student. So you have Schüler and Schülerin. And we had Lehrer and Lehrerin. So they do differentiate in that. Okay? So if it is a male that you're talking about, it is going to be a der word. Logic dictates that, and it makes sense. Okay? So usually use the male version, and then you add on to it to make it the female version. Okay? If it's a...
You never told us what was are being attacked.
They both mean the same thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If it is a female, you'll use the D word because they are feminine. And you usually, although not always, add the IN to the end of it. Okay? So, here's a quick example. The word for a male musician is Musiker. How are you going to make that female? Sydney?
Dying musiker.
Not quite.
Musiker.
Die Musikerin. So it went from der Musiker.
Oh, you add the I into the...
You have to do both. So die Musikerin. Does that make sense? Okay? In most of the cases, that's how it works. Okay? They have started doing something a little bit more PC, especially when it comes to plurals. Because when you use the plural, like if you're talking about a whole bunch of musicians, whether it's all males or a mixture of genders or whatever, you tend to use the male version to make it plural. So it would be die Musiker. Die Musiker would be plural musicians. Mixed gender doesn't matter. Now they're starting to go a little bit more PC. Not everybody does this. Wow, I can spell. And they take the female version and make it plural, but they capitalize the I in the middle. So this is the PC version of plural musicians now. Okay. Plural musicians. So if you lowercase that I, that's plural female musicians.
So
By capitalizing it, they're making it a PC kind of version of it.
So if like it was like a duo, like of a guy and a girl duo,
Mhm.
would say musiker and then...
Yep. Musikerinnen. Some people still just use the Musiker. Die Musiker would be the plural. But other people use a Die Musikerinnen. Usually, especially if it's written, that's when the PC one comes up, because otherwise you can't tell that the I is randomly capitalized in the middle of the word. You know what I mean? What's it?
What is PC?
Politically correct.
Oh, personal, I think.
Personal computer.
Yeah, it's not a personal computer. The personal computer version of this? No. Okay. Here we go. Moving up. So they only have only a few professions that they want you to know this chapter. Okay? So try that first one. Der Sekretär.
Secretary.
What is that?
Secretary.
Male or female?
Male.
Male. Okay. Okay. Shh. Guys, come on. Shh. So to make it female, you change the der to die, add the in. So try that one. Die Sekretärin. Oh, come on. Die Sekretärin.
Die Secretary.
Okay, so that is a female secretary. Try the next one. Der Arzt.
Der Arzt.
Is this male or female?
Male.
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 And this is a doctor. Medical doctor.
Why isn't it artist?
Because it's a different language, you can't assume it's... Künstler is how you say artist. Okay, this one, when you change it to female, you add umlauts over the A as well. Okay, so try that one. Die Ärztin. Okay, so that is a female doctor. Try the next one. Der Sportler.
Der Sportler.
What do you think?
Male coach.
Male.
Athlete.
Male athlete. Okay, and then try the next one. Die Sportlerin.
Die Sportlerin.
What's that?
Female athlete.
There you go. Moving on. Verb tea time. Now this verb you've already seen parts of. You've already used parts of this. Okay. Everybody try the verb sein.
Sein.
Okay. Anybody know what it means? To be. Mm-hmm. Gut. Zu sein oder nicht zu sein, das ist die Frage.
So like to be happy or something.
Yeah? Or like,
Dean.
so this is the goofiest verb, I think, honestly, in both languages. Okay? This is one that doesn't follow the patterns of how you conjugate it over there.
Oh, great.
In fact, not a single part of it is going to look like the verb sein.
Oh no.
Okay?
Fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
But you already know half of them.
Oh.
Actually, probably more than half of them. Okay? So, ich blank will mean I am. Ich bin.
No way. Oh my.
Mind blown. There it goes. Okay, if it helps you, especially with this one, jot down the English.
That's nothing like it.
That look.
What?
And to be changes to am. So it's the same. It's still just as goofy in English. She was agreeing with me.
Me?
Yeah. Okay, next one. Do what?
This.
Bist.
How do you spell cough? C-O-U something.
G-H.
Why not K-O-F-F? Cough. Or K-O-F. Or knee.
I don't know. This is why I teach German, not English.
K-N-E.
Okay. Sie, and S, and man all use the same one. So what? He is. Ist. Some of you are sitting there overthinking that one like crazy. He, she, it, one, is. Alright, and there's one more that you know at this point. So you could talk about like the books are, they are. Do you remember what that one is? sind. Which one of those off to the right is it going to be? Wir, ihr, or sie and sie?
Z.
It's the z's.
Not even close to the original word.
There's two letters.
No, there's three letters
That are the same.
that are different. Different spots.
Okay. If you get over the fact that it's different, I warned you about it in the beginning. There's a reason we didn't do it in the verb T to start with. So you got to know most of them without looking at this verb T. There's a reason for that. Okay? Now, the beautiful part is that wir and sie are the same. So you know another one. So you already know all but one. What does wir sind mean? We are.
We are.
Okay? So now we just have y'all. And this one is the closest to the original. Seid.
Oh.
It's on the right side. Okay, so that one's y'all are. Okay. So when you get to this, the right side, the right side is the part that trips up most people the most. But you already know most of that. Okay? But things to remember, on the right side, they all start with an S and end with a D. And the one that you don't know, if you can remember it ends with a D, the rest of the letters are same as the original. Okay, so it's only that one letter spot. Type.
Or so, or
Yeah.
like the ear, or like y'all. Is that like, since like in America, most people don't say that, like y'all. Is it
It's-
the same in Germany, where like most people don't say y'all?
No, they actually use it constantly. So this is our equivalent. So if you went to the South, they'd say y'all all the time, right? Up here, we tend to say you guys. So, but it's to more than one person. The part where it can be confusing, and that they don't have to deal with about the confusion, is that when you're talking to somebody here, if I say you have homework tonight, you probably assume that everybody in the room has homework, okay? But you have to make that assumption, or you have to ask for a clarifier. In German, you do not. You know what I mean? If I'm just assigning one thing to one person because they're behind and they need to make up something, so like you have homework tonight, you have missing stuff, then I can use the do form and everybody knows, the rest of us are fine. But if I use the y'all form, so the ihr form, then you know I'm talking to the group as a whole.
Yuck. Oh.
Ja, Hausaufgaben.
Doesn't wait,
Okay.
Isn't ain't a word now?
I don't even know, but we're going to keep going. Okay?
Sort of.
Here we go. Back to regular notes.
It's in the dictionary. In the dictionary.
Okay, so here's a little rhyme for you to remember them. Okay?
Should we get the rhyme down?
I would write the rhyme down, because otherwise how are you going to remember the rhyme? Okay, there's way too much side chatting today. If you have a question, you can ask me.
What does Nacht der Untoten mean?
Night of the Undead.
Sick.
Okay. Night of the Undead. Okay, so ein Reim means a rhyme. Okay? You don't need to know how to say this. Whoa. Okay. So again, you don't need to know how to say that. Okay? So you would say, ich bin hier. Everybody try. Ich bin hier. Oh, that was not everybody. Ich bin hier.
Ich bin here.
There you go. What does that mean?
I'm here.
Good. I am here. So this is help you remember that ich bin. Okay? Du bist da. Try it. Du bist da. You are there. Okay, try the next one. Er ist in Amerika. Okay?
America.
He is in America. Okay? Try the next one. Wir sind groß und. So we are big.
Come in.
It's locked.
You're big and
Ihr seid klein.
Ihr seid,
Try again. Ihr seid klein.
ihr seid klein.
And you all are small.
And y'all
Say this
small.
track right now.
Okay. Shh. Sie sind auf.
Sie sind
auf.
auf
Oh, come on. Sie sind auf
Sie sind auf
dem schönen Rhein.
dem schönen Rhein.
They are, or you formal are, can't tell which because it's the beginning of a sentence.
They're from
Okay. On the pretty Rhine is the name of a river in Germany.
The Rhineland.
Schonen means
They're on
pretty.
Mm-hmm.
they are on the pretty
All right, moving on. Interview time. Okay. So, when you have an interview, you're going to use the formal, which sounds scary probably, but it's actually easier because the formal always looks, except for sein, always looks the same as the original form of the verb, so it's less verb conjugation. So it's a good thing. Okay? So, some of these phrases you've had before, probably don't remember them though. Okay? So, ein Interview, and you're going to use the formal. So, excuse me, you had on your Kommunikation im Unterricht sheet way back then. Say again? Entschuldigung. Good. It was number 1 on that sheet. Okay? You don't need to know how to spell it yet, but you need to be able to recognize it.
And
Entschuldigung.
Oh, it's back there too.
Because that's the Kommunikation im Unterricht sheet.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing that out.
Next one. We have a few questions. How do you say we? Wir. And then haben. That's how you say have for wir. Ein paar. How do you say questions?
Fragen.
Did you just say questions? Wow.
Fragen.
Fragen. Good. Okay. Everybody try that. Wir haben ein paar Fragen. Good. Haben. Mm-hmm.
If you keep telling us this really bad stuff, you wouldn't even know.
All right. So, here we go. Now we're going to do what is your name, but we're going to use the formal. How do you ask normally? Not using the formal, just normal you. Wie heißt du? Okay? So everybody again. Wie heißt du? Okay. Is the first word going to change? No.
Yeah.
Nope. So V is still going to be there. Okay? Now the next one we have heißt and then we have du. Are we going to need to change either of those words?
Yes.
Yes. Which one or both?
Heißen. Heißen.
Heißen.
And then Z. Capital
Good. Because you're changing do to Z, you have to change your verb conjugation too. Okay? So it used to be with a T at the end, but now it's capital S. Make sure that's obvious. So because it's Z, you change your verb ending. Okay? Everybody try that one. Wie heißen Sie? So heißen is the original form of the verb before you conjugated it anyway. So it looks just like the original. Okay? Yeah, in there. One slide to go. For some strange reason, this is one of the questions that they have deemed necessary for you to know in Chapter 4 of German 1. Do you have kids? Okay? But we're going to ask it using the formal. So, if you think back to the previous slide for me, so a couple questions ago, it said, we have a few questions. What's the verb to have? Haben. Okay? The do and the have both go into that verb haben. And since it's a question, we're starting with that. Not do, but Sie, because it's formal. Haben Sie Kinder. Good. So Kind is one kid. You add the ER to it, like in kindergarten or kindercare and all those things. Where do you think the German, they stole it from the Germans? Okay, so haben Sie Kinder?
Americans
Do you have
do
kids?
everything.
Wait, isn't that Kinder isn't that like a chocolate bar company or whatever?
That's
But it can't, but they're illegal in the United States.
Why? You want to say they can
Isn't
do
that
Are you talking about the chocolate from
Yeah.
Germany?
Surprising.
So the Kinder
The chocolate eggs.
is what illegal?
Kinder?
Yeah,
used to
you
come-
can't buy them in America.
The chocolate eggs are illegal to import because of they have little toys inside, and they're very concerned about you importing weapons and other things
You know,
inside of a chocolate egg.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but they do make other styles of chocolate that you can import. It's just the Kinder Überraschungsei, which is really unfortunate because I love those things.
eggs all the time.
Yeah, me too. They're awesome.
Little
It's
toy
probably
cars.
more often.
By the way, if you go there and you put them in your suitcase, they seem to not care. Pro tip. Okay?
You bring them
They bring them back.
Melt,
Yeah.
then they defreeze because it's cold.
Trust me, they're fine. Okay. Guys, come on. Waiting. Wasting time.
Oh, dark.
Still recording.
Kinder.
All right.
Sorry.
So, how old are you? How do you ask that to somebody about your age? So, not from. Wie alt bist du? So now we need to change it. How are we going to change it? Wie alt? It's not bist anymore, though.
Zin.
Sind. Good. Remember that verb chart you just had?
That's what.
Sind sie.
So would you capitalize the zin?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, everybody try that one again. Wie alt sind sie?
We all know zin z.
Good. All right. Where do you come from? How would we ask it before? Woher. There you go. So woher, and we did kommst du before. So we're going to start with woher. That stays the same. Now what? Kommen.
Kommen zin.
Oh,
Z.
there you go. Kommen Sie. Capital S. Good. So again, following the pattern, you change your verb conjugation to match your new pronoun.
Why would you have to know where they live in an interview?
To mail you your acceptance letter, maybe?
They're just practicing you forming questions using the formal. That's it. Because they just, in the book, just introduced the formal to you now. You guys have heard about it before? So, yeah. Okay, and the last one. Where do you live? How do we ask it before?
The
Nope.
address. I know.
It's not what is your address, but where do you live? Nope. No word for address in it at all. That is what is your address. Not woher. Wo.
Wohnst du.
Yeah, it was wo wohnst du. Okay? What is it going to be now?
Wo wohnen Sie.
Wo wohnen Sie? There you go. Gut. Fragen?
I think they frog in this time.
Gut.